Okay, hi everyone, Fox 19 now. First Alert Meteorologist Anna DuVall. Here with your forecast update, 6 p.m. live stream here. The sunset just happened across the tri-state. This is what it's looking like out there right now. So pretty night ahead of us. It's pretty cold out there right now as well, but we definitely had a warmer day today than we had yesterday. Here's a little zoomed in view of Paycor Stadium here, 35 degrees, but again, we have that calm wind, but our winds did shift today, and that's why we're going to start seeing that warmer temperatures out here, because we're getting more of a southerly wind out there. I know this picture might be a little sour for some people, so we'll click out of that, because I know it was the last game of the season, and you know, I don't want anyone talking about Bama's losses, so we can talk about Mount Auburn camera. Right now, this is what it looks like, 35 degrees out there, feeling pretty similar to the current conditions. Hi, Seth. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I hope everybody is enjoying their Sunday night here. If we look out across the area for clouds and radar, again, not a lot happening in terms of radar. We're staying dry. We do have a few clouds that are starting to move in. But other than that, we're pretty much staying just dry, cold. That'll be the trend going into tonight. 34 degrees, Cincinnati, 31 in Hamilton, Batesville's 32, 31 in Wilmington, Flemingsburg 34, Covington is 35 right now. If we look at a DMA view, a picture of the counties we cover here in the tri-state, 35 in Cincinnati, 35 CVG, and again, we're going to click out, zoom this out a little bit, and we'll see around our region, 31 in Chicago, 28 in Cleveland, 49 in Nashville, 59 Atlanta. And again, our winds shifted today, and that's why we're going to start seeing those warmer temperatures happen. Now we're going to start seeing winds out of the south, which is going to draw in a lot of moisture from the Gulf, and it's also going to bring in a lot of those warmer temperatures, because earlier we had those northerly winds, and it was drawing in a lot of Canadian air into our area, but not for the next couple of days. The next couple of days, we're going to see those warmer temperatures across the tri-state, and you were seeing them today. It probably just didn't feel like it, maybe by a couple degrees here or there. So again, a slightly warmer day today. It just might not have felt like it. Here are those feels like temperatures though. 31 Connorsville, 34 Cincinnati, 34 Maysville and Georgetown, 31 Hillsborough, Wilmington, 34 in Vevey. So again, feeling like a chilly night, but we're going to continue to drop off tonight. We'll be clearing out though. A lot of clouds will move out of the area. 27 degrees. It's going to be pretty cold. Again, heading through tonight. We're going to stay pretty chilly going into tomorrow morning. But then this is when we start to see that warm up happen. So we only have to get through one more really chilly morning before we start to see that warm up happen. And here's what it's looking like tomorrow morning. Again, Cincinnati will be at 27, CVG 31, 30 in Hillsborough and Wilmington, 29 in Middletown. So slightly warmer than we saw this morning. And going into tomorrow's forecast, 50 degrees. I mean, it says much colder there. It's meant to say much warmer. So I'm just going to fix that really quickly, and then we'll be looking at the same image. But again, above average, 42 degrees is that average. It's much warmer out there going into tomorrow than we saw today. We got almost to 40 today, so definitely those warmer temperatures. I can show you guys this almanac actually, and we'll get those warmer temperatures. We'll show you guys how it looks in Cincinnati. We'll talk about okay. Anyways, so today we got up to 39 degrees. It was pretty, it was chilly today. Low was 18, so again, we dropped pretty chilly last night, below our normal in terms of our low temperature, and we stayed pretty much on average going through today. But going forward here, that's when we're going to start to see those warmer temperatures really take over the tri-state. And again, I can show you that here on the 10-day temperatures. So warmer temperatures are definitely on the way. We'll be well above our average going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 60s there by the time we reach Thursday and Friday. Saturday, this is when we start to ride the roller coaster back down. 62 there on Friday, 50 Saturday, 40 Sunday, and then we'll be back into the 30s. So another little quick burst of southerly air, southerly moisture, bringing us warmer temperatures, some rain chances in the mix. Do want to show you guys those low temperatures before we get off of this though, because again, they're going to be slightly warmer, especially as we go into the next couple of days. You'll see the 30s, the 40s, closer to the 60s there, so we'll be waking up pretty warm going into Friday. But again, southerly wind drawing in a lot of moisture into the area, bringing us those warmer temperatures as well, but it's also helping to provide some moisture, which is causing us to have some rain chances out there. So 30% there on Tuesday, lingering to Wednesday, 10%. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to be the mix of the next system. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like going into Tuesday first. So we're staying dry through our Monday, dry Tuesday morning for the most part, but then we just see very scattered showers out there. A lot of people staying dry through the afternoon, but you could definitely run into one of these spotty shower chances, especially by the time we reach peak heating, which is later in the afternoon around 3, 4 o'clock. This one you could see some of those spottier showers out there, and then most of those are going to be gone by the later evening. This is 8 o'clock, and again, a lot of people will be staying dry, but definitely a few spotty shower chances can't be ruled out there going into the late evening, but then most of that is going to be out of our hair, and then there's that very small chance on Wednesday. Now we're going to move forward to the next rain chance here, because this is going to go through the next couple of days here. Once again, spotty chances for our Tuesday going into Wednesday. Then as we move into Thursday, this is noon. You can see that bigger system over in Illinois, over in Indiana, and it starts to make its way in here as we move into the evening hours on Thursday. You can see a lot of us aren't seeing those heavier pockets, which will be indicated by these darker green colors. This is more of a scattering of showers, especially going into Thursday evening, but you can see where those heavier pockets are, and that's where the yellows and the oranges are. And if we move forward a little bit here, we do get that heavier rainfall here. You can see those heavier pockets with that darker green, some yellow starting to make its way in, indicating we could see a thunderstorm or two moving into the next couple of hours on your Friday. And again, this is Friday, 9 a.m., right in time for your commute, right in time that you're driving to work. And again, a few of those spotty showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder out there. You see the darker greens and the yellows then taking over the tri-state. So that's just something we'll watch out for. We'll kind of be lingering around with some sort of spotty rain going into Saturday, and then another round of heavier pockets is expected. So we're watching closely going into Saturday. It's kind of far away here. That's just another rain chance we're watching before most of that moves out. And then we're going to be staying dry through Sunday. So that's what it's looking like in terms of the rainfall. Over the next few days, this is what it's looking like again. 40s for Monday, a lot of sunshine. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're seeing the 50s. Then Thursday and Friday, we're seeing the 60s, and we're also seeing some rain in the forecast. So again, we can track that out for you guys here. I know that we haven't been on here for a long time. There's not a ton to talk about, but I can show you some upper level maps, and we can talk about that some as well. Again, going into Tuesday afternoon, that's when we start to see a few spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or a heavier pocket of rain there. And then we move forward a little bit more into the evening hours, and we kind of keep those very spotty showers, a lot of people staying dry showers, going through Tuesday afternoon and evening, and then those will start to clear out. By the time we reach Thursday afternoon, that's when we start to see, again, very spotty shower chances. That's that lighter green color, spotty showers. And then as that darker green and yellow starts to make its way in, that's indicating maybe a heavier pocket of some rain with a darker green, maybe a rumble of thunder there. with those yellow colors. So we're watching out for some heavier rain going into your Friday morning commute. It lingering around for most of the day Friday. Saturday, early morning, we're expected to see another batch of this heavier rain moving into the forecast, something we're watching out for. Again, that's a week away, so we're just keeping a close eye on that as that moves out of our area. I can show you guys this right here. Okay, so this is an upper level map, and we're just going to move forward here going into Thursday. And something that we look at for indications of high pressure, low pressure systems, especially in the upper air maps, we look for troughs and ridges. Now, this right here is a trough, and this is indicating a low pressure, and this is what's going to be driving that system that we're going to see Thursday and Friday. But right now, you can see that we're under a ridge. You can think of a ridge like a bridge, and you can see how it's kind of arching here like a rainbow over the Cincinnati, over the southeast here. And that's why we're seeing high pressure, and that's why we're seeing those temperatures uptick a little bit, because we're seeing that high pressure really placed over us. And that mixed with the southerly winds is giving us, you know, this prolonged period of seeing these warmer temperatures. So that's why we're going to start warming up over the next couple of days, and you saw that there on the 10-day temperatures that warm up is on the way, and we're going to see it for the next week or so here. We're going to be pretty warm throughout the duration of the week. But then once we reach Saturday, that's when the roller coaster ride starts to go down a little bit. We'll see the 50s and the 40s and the 30s again. But we are expected to see, you know, that ridge build in, promoting high pressure, and that brings us clear skies, and that brings us those warmer conditions. But once that trough builds in, that's when we start to see the increased rain chances coming into the forecast, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when that trough pushes into the area. But that's really what we're expecting here with the rain. There's not tons and tons to talk about, just because it's mostly very scattered rain, especially going into the next couple of days, the Tuesday into Wednesday. Rain really isn't going to amount to much. Most people are going to stay pretty dry. You might see a shower or two out there. But again, most people staying pretty dry moving forward until we get into about Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's when we'll start to see that rain chance really kick up. I'm going to pull up the 10-day forecast for you here so we can look at it again. Going into, geez, give me 1 second here. I got so used to doing the morning forecast that that's the forecast I have automatically pulled up for the 7 to 10 day. Because now I've moved over to being on evenings, and so it's kind of throwing me off because we have 2 separate 7 days, one for the morning and one for the night. So sorry about that. Yeah, I can show you guys your snow possibilities here moving into, you know, the second week, almost third week in January. I will do that right now, in fact. Okay, so one thing we look at when looking this far out to find whether or not we will see snow is, first of all, we're going to look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, see if we're above average. See if we're going to be below average. Below average temperatures would indicate that we would see maybe, we'd definitely be seeing colder temperatures, and pair that with above average precip, then that's when we would see some snowfall. Looking forward, January 10th through the 14th, we're supposed to be well above our average by then. So that's about a week away looking there. If we look even further than that, I just have to find the graphic for you guys to show you. If we look even further than that, this is 8 to 14 days instead of that 6 to 10. This is January 12th through the 18th. We're supposed to be right around our normal, which is right around 40 degrees for this time of year. So a little too warm to see snow during the daytime hours, but our low temperatures, those are definitely cold enough to see some sort of snow, especially as we get back down to average. Now the problem with this is the 8 to 14 day precip outlook is looking like we're going to be below normal, which tells us that we're not really supposed to be seeing a whole lot of rain, a whole lot of snowfall moving into the week of January 12th through the 18th. So we're having those normal temperatures, which would provide the cold air to give us some sort of snowfall. But if we see any, it's not going to amount to a very big snowfall is what this is showing us. Below average means for that week, we're not expecting the average amount of rainfall or snowfall per day, which is about 1/10 of an inch of rain or liquid water equivalent. So not very much, so well below our average there. We're not really expecting to see a decent amount of snow by any means, but if this was green in the next couple of days, we could see, we could be indicating for some snowfall moving forward, but for now we're not looking at that. We're looking at warmer temperatures, and we're going to kind of keep those warmer temperatures at least through the week ahead. I see your comments here. I hope everyone had a good weekend and a good new year. I know it's a new year. I've been messing up on my forecast, writing 2025, and I got to start writing 2026 on all of them now. Does anyone have any cool New Year's resolutions? I don't know if I have one, but I hope everyone has a good week. I see that, Sam. I hope you have a good week too. JD, I'm good. Happy to be here. Happy to be on weekend evenings now for the next little while. So you guys are kind of stuck with me for at least the next 6 months on weekend evenings. But yeah, basically what we're doing here is talking about how we have warmer temperatures on the way if you're just now getting on. Warmer temperatures, especially through the week. Rain is expected there on Thursday going into Friday. We do have a small rain chance on Tuesday. Most people are going to stay dry. It's going to be very spotty in nature, very quick pop-up showers, just like the spring. That's what it's going to feel like, spring-like temperatures over the next couple of days here. And then looking ahead, we were looking at, right on average temperatures and below average precipitation. So that's what we were, again, talking about there. I'm going to go up here, and again, the 7 days are different, so I got to pull up this other one for you guys. Here we go. Yeah, 50 degrees for your Monday, but tomorrow morning when you wake up, it's still going to be pretty chilly. We're still going to see the 20s out there, 50s by Monday. Then we'll keep the 50s going into Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll introduce a very spotty rain chance here going into Tuesday, throughout the afternoon going into the evening Tuesday. Again, very spotty in nature as those push through. And then as we move into Thursday, Friday, this will become more of a widespread event. Thursday, showers and storms are going to include that time for your morning commute, so just be aware of that as you're heading off to work. But we'll be in the 60s, we'll be warm out there. And then as we reach Saturday, after that cold front that's pushing and driving these storms passes through, that's when we'll see the temperatures drop throughout the day. 50 is that high temperature, but it's going to happen in the morning time, pretty typical for this time of year. Sunday, temperatures continue to drop, and then we'll be back into the 30s by the time we reach next week. So if you like the warmer temperatures, now is the time to enjoy them. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope everyone has a great rest of your Sunday, and a great start to your work week. Warmer temperatures are on the way, so just be ready for the warmer temperatures. You don't have to bundle up as much, especially by the afternoon. And get ready for some rain for Thursday and Friday going into Saturday. And that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to put this full screen so you guys can take a little bit of a closer look here, and I'll see you guys later.